Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I'm back with another Transformers video. This time, as you could see, is Origin Wheeljack from the Legacy United Transformers line. I'm really looking forward to this one since it was announced. It's nice that we're getting actual Cybertron modes from the G1 cartoon. I do have Jazz and Bumblebee, so again, it was nice to get this one in hand. I did get this from Hasbro Pulse. Actually just arrived recently, so it was nice to, again, get this pretty quickly, I would say, from the time I ordered it till now. Here's the side packaging, 40 years of Transformers, with that awesome artwork there. On the back, of course, we got Wheeljack in robot mode, Wheeljack in his Cybertron vehicle mode, and you could see here that they do show you that Bumblebee, that Cybertron Bumblebee, could actually fit inside a Wheeljack as well in vehicle mode. He also has his shield pretty much like in the cartoon, where to protect him, I guess, from the Decepticons shooting at him. And you've got these two little cutters here with the vehicle mode. A bit blocky looking, at least here in packaging, but I'm sure in hand it'll look way better. And then here on the left, we've got, I love this artwork of Wheeljack here, sort of running. So that is really, really cool. So I'm going to open this up and give you guys a look. Origin Wheeljack out of the box. You do get your instructions with this guy. I would recommend that you look them over. He is a bit complicated at first just because of all the panels to get this guy on that awesome, into that awesome Cybertron mode. So definitely give those a bit of a look over before you toss them. Accessories wise, you get his gun, which this is made out of clear plastic but is painted in this silver, but it's not too bad looking. I'm gonna use his, he can hold this in his hand, but he can also hold this, or you can put it pretty much on his shoulder, which is how I'm probably going to display it whenever I display this guy in robot mode. So you do get his weapon. The other accessory is you get this nice, I guess, dark see-through clear plastic purple piece, which is meant to serve a couple of things. In this configuration here is meant to be a road. So when you have this guy in his vehicle mode, he can glide through it. So I guess that's kind of cool. He can also put these on his back as wings. The only thing you need to do is essentially take these apart. One thing to note is in the box, mine came in like this, and I was having a bit of a hard time taking these apart. This being clear plastic, I just want to be very careful with not breaking anything. It is really nicely done. You got some nice panels and details on line work. But the best thing I found for me to take these apart is to essentially fold them in like so, and they'll just start coming off on the side here kind of on its own, and that makes it a little easier to take apart. So essentially same thing here, you fold that in and you can just pull that out. You'll see it'll start to come off. So at that point, essentially you're just switching the sides. So you could do that and then put this back like so. At this point, he could put this on as a backpack, as wings, essentially. At least that's what they show in the instructions and in the back of the box. So these can essentially, so he'll look something like that. Cool if you want to do that. But the main thing, at least for me, that this serves a purpose is, and I'll show you when we get into vehicle mode, is that whole, I guess you want to call it laser-proof shield that he had in that first G1 episode, right, when they start shooting at him. And again, this is pretty cool that they've included that. So those are the accessories. And of course, onto the main guy here, which is Wheeljack Legacy United. I love, again, that we're getting all these different modes. Specifically for me, being a huge G1 fan, just the thought of getting a Cybertron vehicle mode of a Wheeljack, for me, I never thought we would. So here we are. So I'm very happy for that. Again, you're gonna get the same similar colors as Wheeljack, right? You get the white with the gray. You've got some green and red. I think for this guy is really well done. So you'll see there, he's got the gray forearms, all white, and even all the all white parts have a lot of nice detail on it, some nice line work. Same thing with the gray here on the legs, and then you could see the white here. I think it's done really well. Love the chest part again. Wheeljack to a T here. You know, you got your red and green mixed in this clear plastic windshield, which again looks pretty cool. You've got his little wings in the back, which for me could have been a little bigger, but they serve the purpose. They give you know, that Wheeljack sort of shape for this guy. And then of course you got that awesome head sculpt. I think it looks great. He can't really look down or up, but you can turn it fully around, no problem. See there the back, and I think the paintwork that's been done on it. I love the blue eyes, so it definitely looks really cool. Now a couple of things. As you see, I'll turn this guy around. He's got a massive backpack, and that's just because you needed to transform this guy into that vehicle mode, which is very boxy and almost like a handheld vacuum like thing. So yeah, a lot of panels, not just on the back here. You'll see he's got a pretty massive backpack, but then also a lot of the panels on the side of the vehicle and on the back are here on the legs. So yeah, a lot of kibble on this guy. So again, if you don't like a back kibble, you are not this is not going to change your mind. A couple of things accessories wise, you also do get these two little things here, and again, these are meant to emulate the G1 cartoon. These were placed at the front of the vehicle mode, and he would spin them. I think he specifically used them to get away from the circle of fire that he was engulfed in. So these can be attached to his back here for storage. They can also stay there during transformation, but you can choose to take them out as such. And again, a little unfortunate that this massive backpack is just here, and it is pretty huge. But for me, I get the compromise, right? They were going for this vehicle mode that honestly I never thought we would be able to get. So I guess something had to give, and in this case, it was just this massive chunk of plastic here that is tabbed in pretty nice. That we'll see more of in vehicle mode, but it kind of tabs in place. It's not loose or anything, which is nice. It kind of tabs in really nice back here to the wings. So again, you know, if you don't like back kibble, this won't change your mind. And then same thing with the legs. Again, as I said, all the panels from the vehicle mode are mostly arranged into the legs here. Kind of reminds me of Unicron. That HasLab Unicron has a lot of the transformation pieces attached to his leg as well, all the panels. So very similar in that sense. As far as articulation, he does have a lot of joints. So you get elbow, you get you know, shoulder. The hands here do rotate completely. The fingers don't open. But you do get a lot of range here on the hand, so you will be able to get it in some good poses from that end. However, again, the backpack will more than likely get in the way when, you know, if you're trying to do extreme posing. The waist here can fully rotate, so again, no issues there. Legs can kick up that much, and thankfully no loose joints. I mean, with all this kibble here, you would expect the leg to drop. Mine doesn't, which is cool. Again, you've got your 90-degree knee and the ankle articulation here. It's on a ball joint. This is part of the transformation, but because of that, it gives you pretty good range of motion there. And you do get here on the legs, the upper legs, you do have that additional joint there. So yeah, I mean, this you can get this guy in some modes, I guess, with the only thing to keep in mind is because of all the panels and joints that this guy has, they may get in the way when you're trying to get this guy into his vehicle mode. But I will say, for what we get here, this guy's pretty cool. You will be able to get him in some cool poses. So again, if you were looking to get this guy to display him in his robot mode here, I think he definitely looks the part. Moving on to the transformation here, we are going to take a little gun here, the shoulder mounted cannon as they call it, put that aside, and we're going to start pretty much here. Let's see. Let's start here off at the waist. First thing I would do is turn this completely around so that the legs are kind of facing the back. Just get that out of the way. Leave it alone for now. We'll move on to the backpack here, right? So we're going to undo the back. They're actually attached, as I said, to the winglets here, to the back wings. And just take those and just fully turn them all the way in like so, so they're out of the way. You can start to undo this. This won't come into play until much later, but you could start seeing the front of the vehicle there. Next thing to do here is turn his head so that he's facing the back. You can open this for now, and then you can hinge. This isn't a hinge, so you can essentially take this and place it as such for now, so that the head kind of goes into the chest cavity there. So then this will allow us to then play with the hands here. So there is a panel here that you can open this up. You're going to take these hands and swivel them into there, but make sure that they are facing the right way, because if you try doing it certain ways, it won't fit. I wouldn't force it. So make sure they're sort of like that, so that everything kind of rolls in place without any kind of resistance. Same thing here. You're going to open this panel, make sure the hand kind of is placed in such a way so that you get no resistance placing this in, right? The next thing we'll do is we got to get these panels. You're going to leave them out as such, and we got to get them folded in like so. And you'll see here, that's pretty much what that looks like. So same thing here. You're going to take that, and then these hinges, the shoulder hinges, are going to be like that, and you're going to fold them in. These two ends are going to match up here, so I just need to fix that. Right, so take that, and these two ends kind of meet here like so. Then you're going to take this, and this is where this whole backpack kind of comes into play. There's a tab here that's going to go into this joint here, and you're going to essentially turn these so that they're at an angle, and this just kind of sits in place. You'll be messing this. It tends to come off sometimes on mine, but once you get it, it's going to look something like this. This is the bottom. Next thing to do is most of the transformation, as I said, is on these legs. So a lot of panels, a lot of swinging around, etc. on these things. So you're going to take these. This is essentially the back now. You're going to undo. They're tabbed in place. Do that. And then these panels here swing all the way in. Like so. You'll start seeing it forms the side of the vehicle mode here. So you're going to undo that. You're going to fold this forward, and then take this like so. We're going to get these worked in here. You'll see tabs that go here and everything, and same thing here. There's a tab here and a gray part is going to go attach here to the arms. But let me get a lot of this leg part out of the way first. So next thing to do before we do that is ensure these legs, right now they're straight. You want to angle them out. So you gotta untab it. So essentially they're gonna sit like so. Legs have to be like that, otherwise these panels will not fit in right. Next thing to do here, we are going to take this section, open it, swing it, let it swing so that these gray sections kind of match up right here. And then we're going to take this and just swing it forward. Again, we're going to get all these panels fixed in place, just trying to get everything from the legs out. So same thing here, you're going to undo that, and you're just going to swing this all the way around. Next is these panels here on the side. So undo that, and then just turn them for now this way. This leg here, essentially this is the back of the leg. We're gonna swing this in. It's on a ball joint, and make sure you tuck that in here. So essentially move this out of the way, take this, rotate it, and tuck it in there. And next thing is you'll be left with this bit of a mess here, but then you can start taking all these little panels and everything out of the way. So you'll see here the back, right? And then at this point, a little tricky, but we're gonna try to join, you can start trying to join all these things in. All right. Right. We'll come back and mess with that. But essentially now we can start side by side, putting all these panels together. So on the side here, there is a tab here on the gray section that's going to go against the white, and then same thing up here, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to tuck that in, and you'll see it fits right in place. Same thing here. We're going to take all this, we're going to tuck that in, and that fits right in place. This gives us a bit of a better, I guess, stability to get that in. So make sure you get all that in there. These doors here, not a lot of force, but make sure you get them all together, because what's going to happen next is we're going to lower this whole section into these tabs. The tabs back here, tabs here all the way on the back, and on this clear green plastic as well. So everything just has to fit in just right. So you have to sort of make sure that you're getting right everything in all these tabs. You don't want to force things in. Again, this being clear plastic, you don't want to break anything. So once you get all that in, just double check all the sides. Everything kind of falls in place pretty well. Last thing to do is down here, the chest piece, the clear green chest piece. This comes off so you can swing it down, and there are two I guess sections here that are going to get tabbed in to the bottom of the feet, and that's again going to help with keeping this guy together. Once that's in, you are pretty much done at that point. And I gotta say, as I said earlier, I never thought we would get this mode from Wheeljack. It was like a pipe dream. So just the fact that we were able to get that robot mode into this, it's pretty cool. Again, me being a G1 fan, just getting this mode is awesome. Now, it obviously it's not one-to-one to what was in the cartoon, but is a great likeness to it. We've got, starting here, these are essentially the forearms, right? You got those panels here in the gray. You've got this nice detail here with the silver, blue, and red. This is all clear. Well, this is actually solid white plastic. This is clear green plastic, the windshield, and you've got a bunch of actual plastic with clear green plastic sort of meet in place and this nice green line, but it's well done. Like this nice side profile. Then we come to the back, a lot of panel lines, but again, I think you've got what's been done in this mode. I think I'm really happy with. It looks really nice. It looks like a little handheld vacuum. I think Wheeljack, sorry, not Wheeljack, but Jazz had the same look, but it's really cool. You've got these nice little side panels or lines here on what is essentially the spoiler, right? And again, this looks really cool. The bottom here, not much to look at. I mean, you've got the robot head there, but because of transformation, he's facing, you know, so that way, so you can't really see the head. But again, this stays together, and you'll see obviously the inside's really hollow. My understanding is that you're able to open these doors, and Bumblebee in his vehicle mode can fit inside of here. They actually show you how to do that in the instructions, so that's something you can do, which again is a homage to the cartoon. You could essentially then take these weapons, right, his gun, and mount them up here if you wanted to. The other little circle things that I showed you earlier can go mounted here in the front, you know, if you want to display this guy with all his accessories. And then lastly, as I mentioned, you can use this as a road in the first configuration I showed you earlier, so you can display this guy in his mode like this, or to emulate that scene from the first, you know, G1 cartoon episode, you can just take this, fold it in, and this tabs into there to give him his shield, his windshield, and it tabs in place really well, and you get left with something like that, and that looks pretty awesome. So overall, I am really happy with this mode. This is how I am going to be displaying this Wheeljack. I think he looks really awesome. I may choose to then take, you know, this, but more than likely this guy will go in this mode, right? If you got this guy, you know, most of us are probably going to display him like this. So again, he looks really cool. Kudos to Hasbro or Takara, whoever came up with this transformation, because I think we got a cool mode, a vehicle mode out of it, even though we do get a robot that has all this kibble. But I think in this case it was necessary. So there you go. That is your vehicle mode. Okay, so I just want to give you some comparisons before we move back to the robot mode and close out the video. Here is, of course, Wheeljack in that little box mode, but here he is next to Bumblebee. And that alone is so awesome, again, to see. Definitely everything we saw in the cartoon. So it's nice to have these modes together. They're pretty comparable in size, I'd say. I mean, Wheeljack obviously is much, much bigger, but I think that looks really cool there. That looks really nice. And then we'll move Bumblebee out of the way for now. But here he is next to Wheeljack. Sorry, Wheeljack. Here's Wheeljack next to Jazz. Again, that Origins Jazz. And I think those look really cool together. Same thing. And if you wanted, of course, display all three, which is what I will be doing in their vehicle modes, then you get something like this. So that's really nice. And that's, again, so awesome to have here. And as I said, the instructions do show you there is a way to emulate that scene from the G1 cartoon where Bumblebee sort of goes in the back here on these doors. You have to untransform sections of this to raise it up so Bumblebee can sort of go in there. So just want to show you guys, the back of the box does show you that Bumblebee can fit. The instructions do not, so I just want to correct myself. But you will have to undo this whole upper panel, and for Bumblebee himself, you'll have to undo the sides here so that they fit as such. And you're kind of just gonna put that in there, and at that point you'll just have to join everything back up. It's a bit of a tight fit, in all honesty, so it doesn't fit in quite perfect, but it's a thing that can be done should you choose to want to do it here. So as you guys can see right now, this is all nice and closed up, and Bumblebee is in there. So yeah, that is a thing that can be done. So just wanted to show that. You'll see Bumblebee in the front there. All right, so here we are back in robot mode. So before we wrap up the video here, very happy with this guy, as I said. Only one thing to keep in mind is very similar to Origins Jazz and Origin Bumblebee. You have a lot of clear plastic to contend with. So again, I would just be really careful when you're trying to tab in things, particularly the whole leg panels here. The windshield is clear plastic, but is sort of attached to this solid white plastic, so I don't see any issue there. But around the legs, again, just be very careful with attaching things and not forcing things into place. Otherwise, I mean, again, the kibble is unfortunate, you know, this whole backpack and the legs. I will excuse that simply because we're getting that awesome G1 Cybertron mode. So for me, no, not too much of an issue there. And what you do end up with, again, doesn't look too bad in my book. Some comparisons, I guess real quick, would be next to the Wheeljack. This is essentially the legacy, but it's a repaint that was included with the Autobot United 5-pack. So again, just want to show that so you guys could see the differences and similarities. No clear plastic on this guy, so you get that nice painted, I guess, light blue windshield. But you guys could see the similarities and differences. This Wheeljack, the Cybertron Wheeljack, is a bit more chunkier and more, you know, with this backpack here is a bit thicker. But I would say similarly, of course, I do tend to like the robot mode in this guy better because he cleans up so much. But then again, this guy doesn't transform into the Cybertron version. So just want to show you guys there. They're pretty comparable in size, so you guys can see them. Let's move him out of the way. Here he is next to Brawn. This is again from the Studio series. Brawn, Wheeljack in this case is much bigger, which I can think that tracks in my book. So we'll move Brawn out of the way. Here he is next to the Netflix Bumblebee. I think that looks really cool in my book, so we'll move that out of the way. And then let's throw some Decepticons here in the mix. Here is next to the Earthrise Starscream. Looks really cool. And let's throw in the Legacy Insecticon Bombshell there. And there you go. So that's what we're left with. And lastly, let's throw in our fearless leader, Optimus Prime. And I think that, to me, looks pretty cool in my book. So yeah, so that's about it, guys. I definitely do like this guy. If you have the G1 nostalgia like I do for you know, these robot modes, particularly again that we're getting this Cybertron mode, it's really cool. So here he is next to Bumblebee in his robot mode. So again, that tracks, and Jazz. And these are the 3 Origins figures that we've gotten so far, at least the Autobot modes. I know we've gotten in Siege, we kind of got the Tetrajets, not necessarily 1-to-1 what was in the cartoon, but very close. But what we're getting here with these Autobots is pretty cool. I will say, out of these 3, my favorite one is again Jazz, but I am a bit biased because I love all modes of Jazz. But the fact that they've been able to take this and give us that Cybertron mode is ace in my book. So that is it for me, guys. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, like always, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, if you made it to the end, thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.